We are not paying off our mortgage as fast as possible, but we are paying it off at a faster rate than a 30-year mortgage. So every couple of months, I want to do a update of how our mortgage payoff is going. Even though it's not our main financial goal, I love to share the progress and show what you can do and how much quicker you can pay off a mortgage with just a few simple things that don't really affect our daily life at all. They don't throw our budget out of whack, and it's just really easy to pay it off a lot faster with a few simple techniques. So today I'm going to be showing you our new mortgage balance. Our last monthly mortgage payment update was in May. So in May, at the end of May 25th, I believe, was our last payment that I shared here on the channel. And at that time, our mortgage balance was $130,697 and 66 cents. So we were over that $130,000 mark. We've been in our home for 5 years and we refinanced in 2020. So this is the loan that we refinanced. We went from a 30-year to a 15-year, which dramatically has sped up the progress and the speed that we're paying off this mortgage. So when we refinanced, we dropped a PMI that was $99 a month. And then we also basically doubled the amount that goes to principal every single month. And then I also do bi-weekly payments. So instead of doing a once a month payment, I do every 2 weeks. That works just better with how we budget based on having bi-weekly paychecks. And it is something that helps our budget and also helps pay off the mortgage faster. So it's really just wins all around, in my opinion. And we're not throwing extra big chunks of money at the mortgage, but I'll show you now the payments that we made and show you how much it has changed in just 3 months. So basically, I do bi-weekly payments, and then once a month, the mortgage company takes the 2 payments that have been made and they make that 1 payment. So that means even though I'm paying every 2 weeks, they kind of just hold one of the payments, and then every 6 months, one of those extra payments gets applied entirely to principal. I didn't have one of those in the past 3 months, but we did have 3 full mortgage payments go through. That means on June 28th, we had a mortgage payment of $1,310.21 get applied to the mortgage. And if I'm looking over here, it's because I have my numbers right behind the camera. So of that amount, the principal payment there was $664.12. And then on July, for the July payment, we had another payment of $1,310.21. And of that July payment on July 26th, the principal amount that was paid was $665.65. So as you can see, it went from $664 to $665. That went straight toward principal. So it reduced that much. And I like doing these updates because I can see that progress. It's a lot more visual when you have them right after another, like, oh, this month it was $664 went toward principal. This month it was $665 toward principal. And then this past month, August 25th, our last mortgage payment before this update, that was $1,310.21. Again, of course, because that's our mortgage payment. And of that, the principal paid was $667.17. So now we're up to $667 going toward mortgage principal, whereas 3 months ago it was $664, which doesn't sound like a lot, but every 3 months, if you're paying $3 more toward principal, that's great. It's just going to keep increasing as we make more payments. So with those 3 payments over the last 3 months, that brings our new mortgage balance to $128,772. We are under $130,000. We're at $128,000, which is really exciting. I feel like once it gets under like $100,000, I feel like I'm gonna want to pay it off faster, even though we don't really need to. And we're trying to focus more on investments and saving up for our next house. But at the same time, every time I make a mortgage payoff update, I'm like, oh man, we should just pay this off, because it's only $128,000. At the speed we do things, we could make this work. But we are not currently making any extra payments at all. We paused that during my maternity leave and changing jobs and stuff, and I didn't want to basically be putting money toward the mortgage and then need it. I wanted to make sure that we had money piled up in my bank account, because I didn't want to put money toward the mortgage and then jump from having a steady paycheck to self-employment, and then like self-employment income dried up, because that would be really unfortunate. And I just don't want to put ourselves in a negative situation like that. So we might start back doing mortgage payoff updates, but I want to get through the transition to self-employment first and then kind of reevaluate. So it might be another couple months before we do that reevaluation and kind of change what we're doing. But for now, I'm pretty happy with how quickly this is progressing, because now in the last 3 months, we reduced the principal by $1,996. So almost $2,000 removed from principal in 3 months. That feels pretty good. Before, I remember when we first started making payments on our mortgage and it was like we were making no progress at all. It was just like all going toward interest and print and PMI, and now it's like we're kind of like knocking stuff out. It feels good that you can actually see the mortgage reducing, and that feels amazing. When my husband and I had our family like finance future meeting, whatever you want to call it, we sat down and kind of talked about what we wanted for the future. And while we do want a paid off home eventually, it is not a priority for us. We want to instead have that money in a either savings or brokerage account so that we could pay off the mortgage if we wanted to, if we needed to. But instead we have that money that's kind of more liquid and able to be used for other things. But for now, that is all we're doing. We're not going to be paying extra on the mortgage just because for now we want to wait and see what happens with kind of the transition period. If you watch my channel for a while, you know I go back and forth on things and change our goals all the time. So it might be a goal that we work on again. Sometimes we're working on it, sometimes we're not. It's kind of like a sprint then stop type of situation. And we will figure it out. You know, it's not our high priority, but I'm super excited to see this progress. And I hope that this was helpful to see kind of like how the payments are reducing and how you can pay off your mortgage faster without a lot of extra work and without making big extra payments. I'll be back in the future, probably in another 3 months, to make a new mortgage payoff update. I will eventually make an update on this channel where we say that we've paid this mortgage off, but I don't quite have a goal in mind for when that'll be, but I hope you stick around because it will happen eventually.